We live in a fractured reality. Video and photographic evidence, once the gold standard in a courtroom, can now be manipulated pixel by pixel. Generative AI allows anyone to synthesize deeply convincing, entirely fabricated scenes on a massive scale. The traditional defenses against this manipulation are trivial to defeat. Basic EXF data, the embedded tags attached to a photo that record time and GPS coordinates, can be spoofed in seconds using free software. It is no longer enough to prove a photograph is real in a serious legal setting. This diagram illustrates what happens when we rely on simple file hashing as an alternative. A hash is a mathematical summary of a file. But when a hash operates entirely in software, isolated from the physical hardware that took the photo, a bad actor can intercept the process. They simply substitute a visually identical, forged file before the hash is even finalized. When the basic inputs of digital trust are compromised, patching old software isn't an option. Capturing visual evidence that stands up to scrutiny requires a forensic approach to the camera itself. Developer Carl Johan Gillenstorm built a highly specific response to this problem. It's called MetaDataCam, a private forensic-grade camera application engineered exclusively for the Android 15 operating system. Instead of treating the photograph and its context as two separate items, MetaDataCam weaves a dense web of technical metadata directly into the image capture process. By automating the collection of this data the exact millisecond the shutter closes, the application removes human testimony from the equation. The proof relies entirely on interlocking mathematics and hardware constraints, creating a digital alibi. This diagram shows the application's foundational concept. Every time a photograph is taken, MetaDataCam generates an identical digital twin. The image goes to one side, and alongside it, the app outputs a highly structured JSON file, packed with complex, cross-referenced environmental data. The first layer of this twin is an environmental dragnet. To prevent location spoofing via virtual private networks, the system pulls hard-coded country ISO data directly from the cellular network connection, overriding any masked IP addresses. From there, it logs every single visible Wi-Fi network in the vicinity. It doesn't need to connect to them. It simply measures their varying signal strengths and overlapping ranges. The app triangulates these signals and calculates an exact physical pin on a map. To reinforce the GPS and Wi-Fi logs, it records the precise network operator, like Telia or Telenor, the connection type, and detailed telemetry from the closest physical cell phone masks. Faking a single GPS coordinate is easy. Spoofing an entire multi-point topography of local cell towers, network codes, and a web of overlapping, neighborhood-specific Wi-Fi routers simultaneously is technically unfeasible. A geographic location only tells you where a device is, not the physical reality of the space it occupies. The second layer relies on sensor-based context. At the exact moment the camera shutter clicks, MetaDataCam interrogates the hardware sensors on the Android device. It records the exact barometric pressure in hectopascals, alongside the precise ambient light conditions measured in lux. These atmospheric and lighting measurements act as an invisible, highly specific fingerprint of the physical environment at a specific millisecond in time. An AI can easily generate a photorealistic image of a room. It cannot generate the corresponding microfluctuations in atmospheric pressure or the exact numerical light value bouncing off the camera lens. All of this collected data is useless if it can be altered after the fact. The third layer utilizes cryptographic locking. The instant the capture is complete, the application generates a unique SHA-256 hash. This visualization demonstrates the mathematical rigidity of that hash. It operates as a continuous, interconnected chain linking the image data and the metadata. Altering a single pixel in the photograph or modifying one digit of the timestamp corrupts the entire sequence, making any tampering immediately obvious. The application goes further by utilizing the phone's physical secure element. This dedicated microchip acts as a vault, using a private cryptographic key to digitally sign the generated hash. Because the signing process happens entirely within the secure element, the private key never leaves the physical hardware of the phone. You cannot intercept or replicate a software key that physically does not exist outside a sealed silicon chip. The final layer closes the remaining loophole: retroactive manipulation. This is the sequential integrity log. As you can see in this timeline visualization, every single activity is correlated and stored within a local SQLite database. The system actively works by synchronizing unique ID numbers and exact timestamps across the image file, the metadata, and the database itself. When a forensic auditor reviews the data, they find a completely transparent, unbroken logical timeline of every action taken on the device. If someone attempts to delete an image or insert a fake record into the middle of the sequence, the mismatched timestamps and missing sequence numbers will flag the discrepancy. The chronological log cements the digital alibi. Through network dragnetting, physical sensor data, cryptographic hashes, and sequential logging, the application shifts the burden of trust. We no longer have to trust easily manipulated software. We rely on the rigid constraints of physical hardware. But here is the catch. You cannot download MetaDataCam. It is not on Google Play or the Appstore. Carl Johan Gillenstorm developed this exclusively as a private tool, and it will never be released to the general public. Restricting the technology from public markets ensures its architecture cannot be reverse engineered or stress tested by malicious actors at scale. It remains a closed, uncompromised system. The app's uncompromising design traces back to Gillenstorm's father, a fire engineer who used exact documentation to uncover the indisputable facts of a disaster. MetaDataCam takes that life-or-death physical forensic rigor and translates it into code for the modern digital landscape. By anchoring code directly into the physical realities of the environment and the hardware, we now have a mechanism to produce digital evidence that simply cannot be debated, manipulated, or talked away.
These are the same as before.
Are you sure?
I just do not understand how it could go so wrong.